day to follow the flowers. Something that should be required, not requested like time off. And speaking of, time has been on my mind more than on my wrist these days. How to make the best investment in Mother Nature's money, but I think it's best not to think of time as a currency. To do so would be to fall for calf when God truly does know you wholly. Best to think of time as an abundant current, eventually ending in the ocean. So for the time being, let us flow down the lazy river in the sun till it stills. Let us follow the flow of flowers till we push upon our very own daisy. This is something I've also been exploring. How during this time of flower following, we always want our bouquets to be seen as brilliantly bulging, when we have yet to smell even the scent of a single petal. In addition, we tend not to care for the color of the corsage, rather just the quantity of our collection. What I'm really pining at today would be the view we choose to take on life as we take on life. Cramming in every experience and outing possible, maximizing the output of ourselves, and spending our gifted time on everything and anything possible just to proclaim that we have the biggest bunch before our passing. So as we reach the man who welcomes us home, we can regale death as a true raconteur. Now inherently, I wouldn't say that this is a bad thing, and I'm sure death would revel in the wise storyteller you have become. But can I ask, as much as we make an effort to eat, are you trying to fill your stomach, or are you actually just trying to fill your plate? Even so, in between bites of this adventure, without proper time to rest, reflect, and recover, how can we digest and enjoy the feeling of being full? More importantly, how can we recharge for the next race? A sidebar that we could use as a really good side salad for this main course would be this statement. Why treat the journey of life as a marathon when it could just be a walk in the park among friends? Sincerely, I ask you to ask yourself, when was the last time you sat outside in the sun and just felt the breeze on your face? When was the last time you took a book and a cup of tea and turned off the world only to be encapsulated by a new one? When was the last time you slowed down, if even only a hair? Now, no one is perfect, and I am far from that point. I simply write to you about these musings while I could be doing just that. But I will say I'm close to that summertime cigar, I would say at the time that I wrote this. And even still today. When I wrote this, I was outside beside my dog, listening to bird sounds and music, and I was truly happy to enjoy that moment Sunday afternoon. But as I said this, or as I wrote this, I also manufactured the trap that we so desperately try to get out of, the cage to confuse and to some even enrage. The question of, could I be relaxing in this moment even more? By any metric of the mind, body, and spirit, as long as you're happy and aren't hurting anyone, I think you're doing all right. I think that really is a golden rule to a golden life. But where does this drive come from to do more, to be more, to consume more? Now, I will say, to keep going forward and to keep momentum pushing is a good thing. But when is a sprint better than a stroll? And when is it perfectly okay just to stand and stare in awe? Now, I can see how this idea is encoded in our very evolution. Whether through nature or nurture, it boils down to the success of a species, so we have to basically fuck to survive. And oh, what a plight that is. But is that process effectively fucking us from living, compared to just survival? Now, existentialism is a specialty of mine, and I'm sure a trait that will truly follow me through my existence, but I surely don't want to wait till my eventual retirement to ask myself these questions of how to find contentment and calm amongst all this calamity. I say to myself consistently, I want to figure it out now so I can enjoy my golden years in peace while my silver hairs grow. And yet, in a beautiful and simple way, it's truly about the journey. never the destination, and your only job is really to just enjoy the ride. So with that, we circle back to the phrase, we follow the flow of the flowers. And here's a poem for brownie points. We follow the flow of flowers, and we stop to smell the occasional rose. And when it comes to pushing up the daisy, allow only death to know. We cannot stop the end, like we could not choose where to begin. But what we do have in life is to enjoy that with which we are given. Now, to conclude all of these flowery statements, that was funny, I would say this. Time is a timed gift, a puzzle box that takes a lifetime to solve. Simple in its invisible makeup, yet hard as lead to dissolve. We trick ourselves into thinking it's so deep, when even a shallow puddle can reflect eternity. We needn't wish for anything else, for it is full of every surprise needed internally. However, the trick of its unraveling, the secret to its solution, is enjoying the story page by page, not just reading for life's conclusion. With lifetimes of love. Jordan. Catch you guys later.